met her in the fall. He took her to a movie, and when they done it all, he took her.
Hello and welcome to the Fabulous Picture Show. I'm Amanda Palmer, and this week we're heading to the heart, soul and funk of Central Africa with filmmaker Renaud Barret as we screen his documentary Benda Bilili. It's an amazing 5-year journey. From the streets of Kinshasa to the heights of rock stardom. And as Renaud admits, even he didn't see it coming.
In 2004, they were saying we're going to be the most famous handicap band in the world. They were true.
Also on the show, how Bollywood went cuckoo for Swiss cheese. But first, every year more than 2 million Muslims perform Hajj, the annual journey to Mecca. And this year, millions more can also follow that pilgrimage, now the largest in the world, with a spectacular new IMAX film.
It is 1325. A young scholar from Morocco bids farewell to his family. He sets off stubbornly alone on an epic journey to Mecca. His name, Ibn Battuta.
Battuta, one of the great explorers of the ancient world, travelled 3 times farther than Marco Polo.
3,000 miles. Mecca is 3,000 miles to the east. Some say it is too far, but I am determined to make this journey.
This man is more than just a traveler. He's a philosopher, and his curiosity, that's the essence of the movie.
The Great Damascus Caravan is a moving city of 10,000. There are architects, physicians, poets, and even beekeepers. I could never have imagined such a community of the road.
That's what we need now, people to discover each other. You see what I mean? And the walls will fall.
Filmed in Morocco, Journey to Mecca is a narrative reconstruction of Ibn Battuta's great adventure, set almost 8 centuries ago.
Morocco was a full-blown, feature film style production, quite elaborate. We filmed one of the biggest camel caravans ever. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah.
As the day goes on, you'll see how big it is. We've been working with all of the camels and all the extras, costumes that we got going, the goat handlers, the palanquins, it's all represented.
We rebuilt the Kaaba and the mosque in the desert in Morocco, and we had to do that historically accurately, which was incredibly challenging because there really are no real records.
Like a river, it flows toward the plain of Arafat and the Mount of Mercy.
Journey to Mecca provides the most ambitious record ever of an actual modern-day Hajj, the Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. No mean feat for the filmmakers who were faced with the challenge of filming in IMAX for a screen as tall as an 8-story building in a country where cinema doesn't exist.
This film could not have been made without a great collaboration between cultures. In fact, to make this film, we had to practice what we wanted to preach.
We pulled people from nearly every Muslim country in the world. Some people just literally, they're learning under fire.
Action. As non-Muslims, the producers and the director we never did go into Mecca. We weren't allowed to. But we trained an 85-member Muslim crew from 20 countries how to shoot this in IMAX. And then it was very frustrating and difficult, as you can imagine, to be outside of Mecca, phoning in and trying to find out how it was going.
It's a magical land that Bollywood fans just love to bits. But just where is this Shangri-La? Well, as our Sapna Bhati reports, it's a very long way from India.
Boy meets girl, romance blossoms. Then, complications. A villain, family trouble. But in the end, love conquers all. A typical Bollywood plot, but the story isn't complete without an exotic location, which surprisingly often is Switzerland.
We go there just for songs, because its locations are picturesque and it's so beautiful location.
So all that singing and dancing against a Swiss backdrop adds a bit of masala or spice to the movie.
There's also the fact that if you have a heroine in a shimmering sari and you put her amongst the snow and mountains, it just looks so beautiful.
In the world of Bollywood make-believe, where everything has to be picture perfect, the pristine Swiss Alps are an ideal setting.
You can do everything in a nutshell. And Switzerland gives you a high inspiration of lakes, cities and mountains, and everything is very close together. So this was a kind of convenience to do it in Switzerland.
The country made its first Bollywood appearance in 1964 in Sangam. Incredibly, over the past 2 decades, more than 200 Bollywood films have been shot there.
Because so many Bollywood films have been shot in Switzerland, the Switzerland government has made it very easy to do so. So like there is a one-window approach for clearances and stuff like that.
Bollywood producers get a dream location and Switzerland gets the kind of publicity you just can't buy.
How else can you bring a country to people? It's through images. So it is so easy. You cannot explain it on an advertisement or a radio spot or wherever. So the best thing is to watch movies, to see the nature out of these movies.
The strategy seems to have worked. Switzerland has become a leading destination for Indian tourists. Vashu Bhagnani, who has shot most of his films in Switzerland, has helped make this happen.
It's almost 100% contribution, 100%. Because after watching these movies, these songs, people think, "Arey, kitna khubsurat, what a beautiful location, let's go." For them it is fantastic, that's what they made money. In last 5 years, the tourism in Switzerland has, jumped by 1000%.
Another filmmaker who has made Switzerland a regular location is Indian producer Yash Chopra.
It's like a key account for us because he was the man who brought Switzerland to India. So he did such a lot for our country.
But has any of this devotion from India been returned by the Swiss? Well, there is. Tandoori love.
I'm playing the superstar from India, who's a big name. It's a setting that Bollywood unit goes to Switzerland for a shoot. The cook of the unit falls in love with a Swiss girl, and she's already engaged to someone. So it's like a love triangle.
While working with the Swiss production unit, Asif had to dispel some myths about India.
They still think that we still have elephants moving about on the streets, and those snake charmers are there. I said, no, I mean, you come, we have great infrastructures, we are coming up with metros, monorails and whatnot. I mean, you name it, we have it.
In part 2, we're screening Benda Bilili, which is a music documentary. This is the filmmaker Renaud Barret. Now, you became a music producer. You started as a filmmaker, and you found a band that was not exactly like Pop Idol, was it?
I mean, no. There was five members were disabled, like they got poliomyelitis, and plus the 3 others were street kids. They were who were sheltered by the band, and their everyday suffering gave them their talent, which is pretty paradoxical. But that's how we fell in love with them, because they were the father of the street, the good guys.
It's an amazing documentary. Come back in part 2.
He met her in the fall.
Hello everybody. Welcome to the Fabulous Picture Show and this special screening of Benda Bilili. Can I please introduce Renaud Barret?
I want to say something in Lingala to the people from Kinshasa. Bon, bana Kinshasa, bino mokobo. Bo mona que toza awa pona ko présenter film ya Benda Bilili et pesaka message moko. Il faut toujours ko landa ba rêve na bino. Voilà, merci. I hope you're gonna enjoy the show.
Renaud Barret and Florent Delatoulet met the homeless musicians of staff Benda Bilili 5 years ago. Having landed in the Democratic Republic of Congo with a plan to document ghettoization, those plans took a turn. When they became music producers instead, trying to help the band record an album. But the adventure was almost over before it had begun. Ricky's resolve has made him king of the streets in a city of 10 million people.
Ça, c'est ma business. Avec ça, ça va. Ouais.
And bolstered by young Roger, a single-string virtuoso.
Avec lui pendant quelques jours, il sera un bon travailleur, un bon guitariste.
Ricky has led staff Benda Bilili to international fame. Now with an album, a world tour and even a triumph at the world's biggest film festival, staff Benda Bilili is seeing their dream come true. I love the idea of you going to somebody and pitching your film. I've got a band, you know, paraplegics, homeless. I mean, you must have, this is not a film that would have been easy as a sell.
No, I mean, those people were complete outsiders. When we met them, they were just begging for money in front of a fancy restaurant, as you see. And we had a crush immediate. It was just a love story. Our idea was not to make a movie. It was just to record an album. We had the feeling that they were on the verge of dying, because in this country you can die very easily. And when we met them, we had the feeling that they were just virtuoso and we had to do something. So we started to film them on a daily basis. After 2 years and a half, we realized that we had a movie.
What I love here is usually filmmakers say, come on, we're going to make you a star. These guys were telling you,
yeah,
you better believe it.
Yeah, they gave us their energy because they never give up.
I really did feel like they were in charge of this film because they gave you a level of access and honesty that you can't fake up.
Well, it was their movie first. They pretty soon they realized that we were maybe the last chance they would ever have. They helped us in. That's right. They opened the doors of a world which is really complicated to discover. The world of street kids, the world of the street life. In fact, we didn't have problem with the bad boys or the drug dealers. It was always the police or the army. One day we got arrested at night, and they put us in jail. And we were seeing from the outside that the Benda Bilili were gathering in front of the police station, and they just charged the police station and crushed the doors open with the motorbikes. And they came in and started to attack the policemen, say, give us back, or white, give us.
From Congo, Kinshasa, so it's amazing to see kind of things. What I learned for this movie is the determination and the hope. It's something amazing. The story is very, very powerful. How did you choose the name of Benda Bilili?
Benda Bilili means be smart. Try to imagine things but it also means see beyond. So there was all those different levels in the name.
Benda Bilili is quite a dream. Someone who's dreaming is on Benda Bilili. Something doesn't exist, but you're taking your mind.
Exactly. Is also inspiring is that they don't consider themselves as handicapped a bit. They are rock and rollers. They always say, yeah, we're rockers, we're gonna rock the world.
Musically, obviously this is an incredibly unique style, but the lyrics, they're simple, but they're very profound and complex as well.
Whenever something happens to them, they write a song, and they talk about everyday life, how to stay alive, how to survive. It's like they get a moral message to the uneducated masses of the street. You know, they teach the little kids how to stay straight, not to steal, not to do bad things.
Explain that relationship between the physically challenged people and the street kids.
Because they are safe. The handicapped people in Kinshasa are very feared and respected. You don't mess with a disabled guy in Kinshasa. The street kids, because you got no school, you got unemployment. It's like 80% of the population. So naturally they stick with the handicapped because they can push them. In the end of the day, the handicapped, they pay them. So it's a relationship like that.
You see documented in the film where Roger appears in the film. He's 13 at the time with his tin. What do we call it?
Satonge. It's a mono string. We met him quite by chance. It was back in 2004, and he was begging for money in front of a church, and he started to play, and it was we were really moved. He created his instrument. He got the perfect ear, and he creates the condition of his own survival.
Roger blows your mind to see him grow up on camera and to see him evolve like that. And I think one of the most interesting things is his real sense of his responsibility.
You can see the overwhelming presence of the African family sometimes.
Oyo mboka na biso etalaka buzoba mais poto esala talaka buzoba te po yo soko zongi kuna na desordre ba refoule yo bako seka ngai.
I couldn't believe the level of respect and restraint. A lot of kudos to him there.
Sinon merci vraiment pour le conseil donc merci.
As a black person, I get sick to death of seeing black people on screen. We're always the victims. And so, your lack of ego, and, it was just a really, really moving film. So thank you very much.
Thank you. That's a very important what you say, because we feel also very sick when we see movies or documentaries about Africa, with always Africa with a big A. Misery, happiness, blah, blah, blah. And it's not true. It's the reality is more grayish. And the best thing is to let them speak. To us, that's the distance, the right distance we want to have between Africa and us,
I was just wondering, have all the members of the band actually improved their lives?
Yeah, all of them. And all the kids are going to school. So to them, that was the most important thing with the success they have now. It was to put their family out of trouble. And that's what they did, all of them.
It was a wonderful part of the film when they're in Belfort and the crowd grows.
hadn't even rehearsed before coming to the concert, so we were just a bit like stressing. Is it gonna work? Or well, you know, sometimes they don't sing always in the right tone, and so we imagined that they could have failed a bit, or maybe just do something, well, mediocre. But we never imagined it would go like that. Suddenly, like, there was 5,000 kids dancing like in a rave party.
Roger is a superstar now, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a Hendrix, a true Hendrix of the Saturn. I was thinking back in 2004 when they were saying we're going to be the most famous band in handicap band in the world, and they were true.
Everybody, amazing film. Yeah, do tell your friends, and thank you. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for them.
That is the end of the Fabulous Picture Show, and I'm going to say goodbye. And we started off with saying something in Lingala, or you did something very profound and beautiful. And now we're going to say goodbye.
You have to say chance.
Chance.
Eloko.
Eloko.
Pomba.
Bomba.
Pomba.
Bomba. What does that mean?
Means every dog has his day.
Fantastic.
Merci. Wow. So how would you rate this film out of 10 and why?
I'd easily give it an 11. It was fantastic.
I'd rate it 7 out of 10. I thought it had a real pulse.
I go for 9 because the story is also powerful.
You could really smell it and taste it. You felt transported.
And I think it was very brave and commendable of the director to go somewhere like Congo and try and do something like this.
It's teach us how to dream, even we got nothing, but people have a hope.
Yeah, and Roger, I fancy him a little tiny bit.